The Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo is once again descending into chaos. Thousands of people are on the move, fleeing the intense fighting. Men, women and children carrying their belongings are leaving their villages in South Kivu. A forced exodus as clashes between the Congolese army and M23 rebels intensify.
As Rwanda and the DRC or the DR Congo are signing peace agreement in Washington on Thursday, Rwandan troops were advancing south in South Kivu, taking more territory, and they shelled the town of Kamanyora, where they displaced more than 1,000 people and also killed more than 8 people from Kamanyora. And they quickly advanced south to Luvungi and they're about to take that city as well. And according to the latest report is that 23 people have been killed, out of which 10 were children. So children were killed in the process of the Rwandan troops taking that town. And the moment that peace agreement was done, the United States quickly gave Rwanda $228 million aid or foreign aid for their health care, according to this article here. And they allocated 158 to Rwanda to combat HIV and malaria, and 70 for the administrative sector of the Rwandan healthcare. So basically they are supporting Rwanda with $228 million. The US president also quickly got a peace award for that signing. He got a FIFA award, which they called International Peace Prize from FIFA. And we expect more organizations to follow to give him peace awards because of that. While on the other hand, Congo got nothing. No foreign aid, no investment pledge, and now their territory has been taken from them again. More than 23 Congolese people so far have been unalived, and more than 2,000 have been displaced. Some of them have gone to neighboring Burundi and Rwanda. So from the map in front of you, on the right, the area shaded yellow is the Burundi territory, and a little bit to the north of that there is the brown kind of red shading, that is Rwanda, inside Rwanda itself. And then of course the other part is Congo. Now the lines on the right, the red line that are dotted, these were the Rwandan stroke M23 group that started advancing on Wednesday, and on Thursday they were sharing Kamanyora because there was a small group of Burundi troops that were not far from that town. The Burundi's troops have always been there to ensure that the Rwandans do not take advantage and invade from that side, because there's no presence of Congolese soldiers there. So the sharing happened on Thursday and Friday, and according to the report is that the Burundi troops were pushed south. And then on Friday and Saturday night, the green line that is continuous shows when the Rwandan troops, these is a special force Rwandan troops, came at night to reinforce that M23 that had been bogged down by the Burundi soldiers. So that's why they came in at night. According to the report, about 3,000 Rwandan soldiers closed to reinforce that group, and that's the same tactic they used in Goma. So they come at under the cover of the night to reinforce, which basically proves that Rwanda is involved not just through M23 but even sending their own troops sometimes to do the attacks. So that's how they fought last night. And when in the morning today, we know that Luvungi, which is the town where you see the circle in red dotted circles, was taken, or they are currently there fighting. And that's how about 23 people lost their lives through the sharing and firing in that city or that town. Now the Burundi, which is shown by the blue dotted line, these are lines that they would come in trying to intercept the Rwandan stroke M23 group, and then sometime, because they're not supposed to be there, they would go back to their territory. And right now, as I'm making this video, the blue line that shows the Burundi soldiers, they are on this border, and there is some kind of crashes between them and the Rwandans in Luvungi, and this might continue for a while. Now, what you're also seeing on the west of this screen, on the left side basically, is another group of Rwandans stroke M23 group that moved to a town called the region of Katogota, which they've taken. There was a lot of Wazalendo and M23 Congolese soldiers that were pushed south, and according to the latest report is that they've taken they are about to take the region of Mwenga, which is south in the Bafuriro territory, and in the center is the mining, or the Twangiza mine, which was a gold mine operated by a Chinese investor, where about 6 months ago the Rwandans came in and took half a ton of gold that had been processed, which is about $70 million in equivalent in the market, in dollars, right? So that's what is happening. That's what I wanted to show you, that they've taken Luvungi, they've displaced people in Kamanyora. There's a fighting that is happening between the Burundi, the M23, and the Rwandan troops that are crossing the border to reinforce their M23 soldiers. Okay, so let's go back to these territories we are talking about. As you can see from the screen, I'm using a map software. Lake Victoria is there, Rwanda, Burundi, very tiny in the map actually, and the huge Congo on the right, on the left. So when we zoom in, you can see the city that fell in January to the Rwandan troops, Goma, followed by Bukavu. Now they usually cross from the Rwandan side and take these cities, and then they install some group there they call M23, which for many times we've known they are Rwandan proxies inside Congo, and they have Rwandan troops embedded inside that group. So basically it's the one and the same thing. So on that day, the same people now, because they control the two cities and the whole Lake Kivu, they moved to this town called Kamanyora, which is very close to the border with Rwanda. So we could see videos that were taken by Rwandan people who are on this town called Bugarama, okay? And the city that was shelled or being shelled by Rwandan BM-21 Grad system or rocket system was this Kamanyora. And a lot of people were displaced. They quickly crossed the border, went to Rwanda. And now after that, the Burundi, now you have to understand Burundi. Burundi is this country on this side, this border here. So the Burundi's troops retaliated on these Rwandan troops that were here, because as you would expect, they were coming closer to the Burundi border, and the shelling was happening very close to the Burundi border. Definitely the Burundi soldiers retaliated because some of the shells were landing inside the Burundi territory in Mudaha, and that's why they started also firing back. So there was fighting between the two armies of Burundi and these Rwandan soldiers inside Congo because of that. But they now, the Rwandan soldiers, have moved. They've already taken Kamanyora with a very low resistance from the Congolese army. They've now moved south. They are in this town. Today in the morning, they were fighting in Luvungi. So they're about to take, actually, maybe they've taken this town. It's called Luvungi. And the Burundi troops are on the other side of their border, inside Burundi, of course, trying to figure out what's going on, and sometime firing at the Rwandan troops in Luvungi. So that is what is happening.